Hello everyone, I'm Lydia and I am back with the second message for June 13 for today, 2026. And Jesus gave a message today for both Kassi and for Mandy, and we are reading the first part of this today, and then we'll read the rest tomorrow. So today, and this is about the cancer journey to defeat darkness. All right. The true ether versus the false ether, or ether versus false ether. And God's physical calendar date today is 3:10 in his spiritual world, and in his physical world is 3:10. In the spiritual world, the calendar date is 9:10. And God's true Gregorian is 12:21. All right. Hello, my daughter. Write this down. I am Yeshua HaMashiach. I come in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day. This is a message stamped in the heavenly courts on 6/13/2026 at 10:03 a.m. Central Standard Time. I am declaring and decreeing that the supernatural will commence fully for this phase, the pre-introductory phase, part 2. This is the end, but also the beginning. I must wake up my people, and now there is no more delay. What you are about to witness has been my plan all along. For this circle, we are transitioning to a new assimilation where my soulmates will all be together and to begin the next round of training. But first, I must show the beginning of what truly happened in the garden with the transference of darkness, the false ether that resulted from the opposition of science with the true laws of physics. You see, Adam and Eve were duplicated. For this specific purpose, I needed to lure evil in, but it was all a facade. Adam was an original sacrifice, as the archons borrowed part of my original formula to create Adam from the dust. Because remember, the original Adam and Eve were made of stardust. The shell was made, but the light was not present. I had to insert the resonating light into Adam in order to make the false father, known as Yaldabaoth, believe he had the same power as me. Once the resonating light entered into Adam, that brought him to life. Adam knew my voice, and he obeyed my instructions when I told him to transfer the light to create Eve through his rib, which was the spiritual DNA, which is my soulmate formula. Eve came alive with pure light, but was the shell of the duplicate holding the light as my own original Eve. I used Kassi's suit, as you see now, which is a duplicate of Eve, my Ariath's suit in the beginning, as I am using it in the end. I transferred them into one, which is why I call them twins. Both Mandy and Kassi, my Colossia, who you will see will transform into her original form in the earthly realms, which I named Briella. You will see that they were one and the same in the garden, but separate spirits. I used a double inheritance spirit to create Eve in the flesh. And yes, it was I, Yeshua HaMashiach, who comes in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day, that created Eve, not Yaldabaoth, though I made him think he did. This is what began the astrophysics line. This line is what created all of the duplicate suits within the earthly realms, and they were all a duplicate of Ariatha and Colossia, my Mandy and Kassi. I did the same with G, my Ariasan, and JB, my Matthias. Getting back to the dark ether, the false ether, Yaldabaoth and the archons could not bring life to Eve. So when they saw that Eve came to life, they marveled at her, as she was pure light. I had Eve share how Adam came about with Adam, the duplicate, and the archons noticed Adam beginning to shine with pure light just like Eve. The archons became enamored with her, lustful and jealous of Adam. I then had Adam transfer the false ether to Eve as it cloaked the pure light in order to protect her. And then Jesus paused at 10:21. This happened as the archons were starting to defile Eve as well as Yaldabaoth. This is where the fall began. I allowed this to lure evil in. Yaldabaoth put doubt in Eve's mind about where she could eat from by using my double inheritance spirit to tell her, "Who told you that you would surely die if you ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil?" I turned Yaldabaoth to a serpent, and I used my double inheritance spirit to instruct Eve to not eat from the tree of life. You see, trees are other people, my children. I have spoken parables from the very beginning. I personify many things to show you truths and what puzzle pieces I have hidden away. When you come to me and walk in the Spirit, I uncloak these truths to you. There were many trees in the garden, and through astrophysics, they were all duplicates of my original Adam and Eve. The fallen line was made through the opposition of science, which therefore infiltrated the garden and spread false yeast, just like in my churches today. The false yeast is also false ether. Ether is the true form, and it is my love. My love is the greatest power of all. Love is what conquers all, which is why I shed my blood on the cross for all of my children. The defilement was that the false ether filled both Adam and Eve's sense and caused them to drink the waters of forgetfulness, thus putting them to sleep. This is not sleep as you know it. This is a stupor, a spiritual stupor. At this point, they were flooded with shame and condemnation, and then were subjected to death. False ether is also cancer. False yeast is cancer as well in the spiritual sense. So now, my children, you can see why cancer is a death sentence. Cancer is the symbolic leprosy mixed with the physical representation of false ether and false yeast spreading throughout the earthly realms from the very beginning. My plan to allow cancer to spread throughout my children was to prove the difference between the false father and the true father and each character. How are you to know good without experiencing the bad? The bylaws in the very beginning was set up to ensure that my children were able to be trained properly and well versed in the difference in order to destroy and overcome evil for good. I have shown Kassi, my Colossia, my Briella, that it truly is likened to an algebraic equation. We are simply solving for x. This is why x marks the spot, because light exposes the darkness. Once the darkness is identified, the light casts it away. My son's death, I am speaking from the Father, now as we are one in spirit, is the X that marked the spot. Now the battle is won, but I just need my children to awake from the spiritual stupor in order to complete the full transition back to the original garden. Hence we are at this point now. So it's all a facade. If you have my light, you cannot be in death. The wineskin process enables you to expel ether and replace, and it's different spellings for the false ether and the true ether. The true ether starts with an A. So enables you to expel ether, the false one, and replace it with the true ether. The cancer is indeed cut out. I have given Kassi a message on this on 8/7/2023. Can you see how this all ties in and how I complete my circles? Can you see how Mandy's message from 6/14/2023 about the crab and circumcision is now coming into effect? I told you there was more meaning to circumcision and the crab. Now we are officially full circle, and I am about to press play to the next phase of the rehearsal of the prodigal son, a journey from the stars. Do you get it yet? Can you see my full picture? Come to my feet, children. I will surely show you when you ask me with a humble and contrite heart. Colossians 1:3, we give thanks to God, even you, Father, of our Lord Jesus Christ, always praying for you. Colossians 1:9, for this cause we also, since the day we heard of it, cease not to pray for you, and to desire that you might be fulfilled with knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding. Colossians 1:8, who hath also declared unto us your love in the Spirit. 2 Thessalonians 2:9, even him whose coming is by the effectual working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Romans 5:8, but God setteth out his love towards us, seeing that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And then Mandy says, stick around for more of Kassi's message through Jesus, part 1b. And we'll do that tomorrow, Lord willing. All right, I love you guys. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.